Good morning, folks. Well, we're at one of my favorite ways to catch cats. We got a bobcat trail heading to the north and the bobcat trail heading to the south. And yeah, this dirt road's a bobcat trail. This is one of your best places you can catch bobcats, if you can set a trap right beside the road and nobody see it. And the best way to do that is to find your culverts that are going underneath the road. And then you can put one trap on each side of the road if you can, or if you want to. This side over here is usually swamped in with water, except this is a dry season. There's hardly even no water in the creeks. This is mid-January. So I always grab this side of the road. And it sounds like we got a cat inside that culvert. Doesn't sound like a raccoon. But we're about to find out. Yeah, and you can see where they go down the side of the hill. And I'll show you a remake on this one. So you'll see what it looks like. But you need to take a drill bit and drill a hole in the side edges of these culverts to wire your trap to. Then your trap will go right out here in front of it. But I'll show you that here in just a little bit. Let's see if we can get a look at what's in there. Oh yeah, there he is. And I gotta watch it because I'm well within his reach. Hopefully you can see that cat off in that culvert right there. Which is another thing about these culverts. Even if they're in wide open, beside the road, people won't know you have anything. Because when these cats get caught, and although I've caught fox in them as well, they won't be outside the hole. They'll go inside the culvert. That's where they feel safe at. That's why you can set every culvert you see up and down the road. One thing you have to watch out for is the dogs, especially those that belong to the deer, dog, running road poachers, because their dogs will get caught. They will not go inside the hole, and when that road poacher finds your trap or his dog inside your trap, he's taking your trap. They're pieces of shit. Pardon my language, but I don't care for thieves. But all right, get this one taken care of and get the remake done. I'll show you what it looks like. Back at you in a bit. And before I make the reset, notice the great pad catch. That's one thing about making the sets the way I do it. This is what you're going to get. And here in a minute I'll explain to you why. But all right, get the kitty out of the trap, get that all cleaned back up, made back up. Be right back with you. Alrighty, here we go. Culvert's been cleaned out. I got some stepping sticks that'll cause him to want to step down into that somewhat of a trench set, I guess you could say. Sorry about that with the camera. Trying to get down here at elevation so I can show you. That trap is sitting about 3 inches below the level of the ground. It's sitting about 5 inches below that stepping stone right there. And when all possible, you need to have a stepping stone. You need something to give that cat a little elevation. So when he commits and he steps down onto that pan, and that pan doesn't even have to be covered up, but I'm going to cover it up. But you can actually set these sets in rocky area where there is no dirt, with just a plain pan with the trap in the wide open. And if you set it up right, that cat will put his foot on that pan. Your trick, what you've got to do, your job, should I say, is to make sure that when he steps onto that pan, that he is stepping down. This puts the front end of his weight on his shoulders going down on that trap pan. So when it fires, he has no possibility of pulling that foot out. That's why you'll get those good pad catches. He cannot. He's fast, but he ain't that fast. Not when he's stepping down. Kind of like us when we're walking down a ladder and the step gives away. We can't pull our foot back up too fast. We're going to go down first before we can come back up. But all right. And of course with these cats, it's not that important to cover up the chain and the cable where you've got it attached. So that's the key right there, is making sure he has a platform to step up on. And I prefer rocks, a good 10 by 10, 12 by 12 sizes. Although that one's kind of narrow, it still gets him elevated, and he will lean forward to put his foot down on that pan. And another key factor to doing these sets alongside roads is make sure that there are no trees or small bushes or branches that he can get caught up on while he's fighting during the night, so people can see him up and down the road. But if you'll make it where there's no entanglements that he can reach by not giving him too much slack on your chain and your cable that you've got hooked up, he may tear the area up, but when cars come by, he'll get off the road and he'll run down that culvert. And that's usually where you'll find them in the mornings. As long as they're not tangled up on the side of the road, like I said. That's why you can make sure your bank area around your trap is completely clear of entanglements. You do that, and you'll catch lots of little kitties. Because like I said, they love to run them roads. They can see a long ways. They can travel fast. They can see their prey up and down the road and sneak up on them by running the edges. But alrighty, and a beautiful sunrise there. But alright, I'll get that trap covered back up and moving on down the road. Thanks for watching.